Right then, Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce await United tomorrow night in probably the pick of this week's Europa League clashes. Ten Hag, as always, every single week, desperate need for a win. This time to build momentum, not just to turn the tide a little bit, and hopefully to kickstart our European campaign. Now, United got our first win in six. First win in six at a weekend with that 2-1 comeback win over Brentford. But we have won just one of our last 9 in Europe. And that's not come this season. So Fenerbahce, on the other hand, are in a little bit of a transitional period. They are 4th in the Turkish Super League after a draw against Samunspor over at the weekend. And it's Jose Mourinho. So the tactical approach that you would expect from them has been, well, there's not been a surprise. It's been a little bit of a blend of the classic pragmatism that he plays with, but also an attempt to try and adapt to some of the talent that he does have available in his squad. So the system at Fenerbahce primarily revolves around being defensively solid, counter-attacking football, and vertical progression. It's Jose Mourinho, right? It is what it is. But there are some different tweaks in there that make use of some of the attacking talent and flair that Fenerbahce do have. So you're going to see the 4-2-3-1. You're going to see that similar to how he played it at Manchester United. But you're going to see him also try and field veterans like Edin Dzeko, him, up front, supported by players like Dusan Tadic. And the team does rely on very fast transitions. The defence, it's Jose Mourinho. They're able to absorb, and midfield, able to absorb pressure. Fred. So you know what you're going to get with him. Press him. But you're going to get someone that covers every single blade of grass and will get the ball back. They've also got a kid called Juchek as well, although he's going to be missing out through injury, who like to quickly feed the attackers and try and hit them on the counter. I don't know if everyone knew this, but St. Maxim's there as well, showing that there is flair and talent and ability on the counter-attack. And we've seen St. Maxim hurt United in the past. Makes no difference what colour kit he's in. It can be a problem on the counter. So it is what it is. Mourinho likes to focus on that defensive stability. His backline is shielded by defensive midfielders who look to try and stop counters and long balls. But despite moments of individual brilliance and individual performances, like Fred bringing in some energy and pace when introduced, the overall cohesion hasn't quite worked in the sort of that real togetherness team play that you sort of get from a Jose Mourinho team, certainly a Jose Mourinho team at its best. Fenerbahce have often struggled to dominate entire matches, and they're getting criticised quite a lot because they seem to effectively only play football in moments in games, sometimes just 10-15 minutes of quality in a game. And they're also having ongoing debates about Mourinho's choice of defensive partnering as well. Fans questioning why he's not really utilised what they're seeing as his strongest defensive duo. In terms of possession, Fenerbahce like to go wide. They're like fullbacks that are going to advance. They're going to put crosses into the central area. You've got Dzeko, of course you are. You like to see Tadic sort of operating in half spaces, trying to break down defensive blocks. Defensively, they are going to aim to press high, force mistakes, and then drop back into just typical Mourinho blocks and try and deny opposition counters. That's what he likes to do. Overall, Mourinho's Fenerbahce are a transition-capable team that could produce a result, but they've not been playing consistently, and I don't think you'll be looking at them for a title push. Does that mean that they can hurt United, though? Yeah. I think United can get the job done here, but you're going to have a complete performance in a manner that we did against Brentford, where actually things go well and we take chances. We didn't create loads against Brentford. I think people are really misconstruing what actually happened in that game, but we were clinical. And United have not been clinical. I've not been able to sit here and describe United as clinical for a long time, but against Brentford we were. You're going to need to do that because you won't get loads of chances against Jose Mourinho team at home. They're not going to give you chances. Just know that going into the game. Know you're going to have to probably play with a little bit more risk, and you might be halfway there. In terms of star man for Fenerbahce, It's Dzeko. I can't believe he's still doing a madness. 38 years old. The guy's banging them in. He's on 9 goals and 2 assists in 14 games. He plays a savvy brand of football. He's clever in the penalty area. He can finish off both feet. He is clinical. And he's dangerous in the air. So, problems.
All right, I messed up. It happens, and it'll happen again. Recorded the preview. Didn't know about Johnny Evans. That one's allowed because that was a recent development. But I should have known Bruno was suspended, and I forgot. Different competitions and all that sort of stuff just completely slipped my mind that Bruno was suspended for this one. So with those recent developments and one not so recent development, just a brain fart from me. Starting 11 wise, I think obviously Onana in net. I think he'll go with Mazraoui and Dalot because it's a bit tried and tested, and Martinez de Ligt at centre half. It's just straightforward. Midfield is where it gets interesting now because you've got a couple of options here. He could go for Xerxes in the 10, but I'd be really excited to see that actually. Almost like an old school 4-4-2, very attacking. Don't think Fenerbahce away is the time that you want to try that or you will try that. So I think it will be Eriksen, Casemiro and Ugarte. I think that's the midfield that he goes with. If Mount is fit, it'll just be Mount, and it'll be a Mount in straight swap for Bruno, probably Eriksen and Casemiro. But I'd like to see Ugarte, Casemiro, Eriksen as a midfield three and see how that gets on. I think that'd be a pretty good option for us. And then the same forward lineup that I already picked, which was Garnacho, Rashford, and Rasmus Højlund. But that's the 11 I think I'm going to go for.
And as always, this video is brought to you by Hollywood Bets, and they've got an exciting offer this week for the European game between United and Fenerbahce. So check out my top picks for the game. I'm going for 1 shot on target for Tadic. He's averaging 2 to 3 shots per game with at least 1 shot on target in most of his appearances this season. He's got experience, he's got ability, and I think that's a pretty strong pick for... I think he'll get at least 1 shot. I'm also going for Garnacho, 1+ shot on target. Now, he does average 1 to 2 shots per game. It feels like he averages about 9, but he does get 1 to 2 shots per game as well. Quite often tests the keeper, and with his direct running and the fact that he shoots early often, I think he gets a shot on target as well. And in matches where he starts, he does get pretty decent numbers. So I'm expecting him to be able to get 1 should he start. In terms of corners, I'm going for over 9.5. United and Fenerbahce both average 5 corners per game, so that should give us just over that 9.5. And cards, over 2.5. It's a Jose Mourinho game. I think people are going to get booked. And for naming somebody to get booked, Fred, sorry. The way he plays and the way United have been flooding people forward, I just think he's got quite a high foul rate. I think he gets a card. Now, that's been boosted from 15 to 1 to 18 to 1. So if you stick a tenner on it, you're going to win 190 quid back, should it win. And if you would like to claim this bet boost, all you got to do is click the link in the description. And if you're new to Hollywood Bets, you can create an account and take advantage of the other fantastic customer offers that they have. Link is in the description. Plus, Hollywood Bets, they also have loads of other bonuses available for this week's fixtures. So go and click on there and check all of those out. And remember, odds are subject to change. You must be over 18 to participate. And it's unpredictable. So this bet is designed to add to the enjoyment of the game, and it's certainly no guarantee of a win. Always gamble responsibly. And for more information, check begambleaware.org. Once again, this special bet boost is brought to you by myself and Hollywood Bets. Click the link in the description to get involved, or let me know in the comments what bets you're going for in this game. In terms of how do United win this game, I think it's quite straightforward, in honesty. I think you have to match the tempo and intensity, play at a tempo that they're not used to, because they're not used to playing at a high tempo. And Jose typically, in his latter stages, doesn't like high tempo games. He likes to slow it down. He likes to take his time with stuff. They are a team full of wily veterans, so let's drag them into uncomfortable waters and let's see how much they want to go toe-to-toe with us. If we play at their speed, you'll struggle. If they play at our speed, they will struggle. There'll be a bit of a sting in the crowd. Turkey's known for having extremely hostile crowds and atmospheres. So start fast, start early, shell shock the crowd, quieten them down, get a goal in front, and then just keep your foot to the floor and you'll come away with the 3 points. I think it's as straightforward as that. But anyway, that's how I think the game's going to go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to Hollywood Bet for sponsoring today's video. Check the link out in the description and go and support them because they're supporting the channel for the whole season. Otherwise, take it easy, enjoy the game, and I'll see you afterwards. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.